Let there be light. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to the Light of Zambia channel. I'm your usual host, Proculious Mwape, Zambia's presidential aspiring candidate. So today, the 27th of July 2024, I'll be discussing the issue of load shedding, the issue of power generation in Zambia, electricity generation in Zambia. Alright, I think this topic is one that is hot, and I think we are feeling the impact of power generation or deficit in power generation in our country. So I know it is not something that I have to overemphasize. And I understand that every one of us understands how pivotal power is in our day-to-day life, and especially when it comes to the functioning or proper functioning of the economy. So without power, you know that your economy is not going to perform well, and that means you are increasing poverty levels among the citizenry, and that further means that your GDP is going to be lowered. And this is completely undesirable, and we understand, it is well known that Zambia this year is clocking 60 years of independence, running our own affairs as a nation. Why have we failed to set up facilities, power generation facilities that could sustain the economic operations as well as household needs of power? Why don't we have such facilities today? So that is the issue that I would like to discuss. I feel something is not being done, and I want to come in with reasons as to why those things are not being done, and at least suggest a solution, so that if we can work together, we can then amend this problem once and for all. Alright, so first of all, we have to come to terms and agree that Zambia as a nation has not invested much in power generation since independence to today. We've not invested enough of resources or enough of our money into power generation. And that's why today we can suffer all this much. That's why today we can endure all these hours of load shedding, going without power for hours. So why is it so? Why is it that we've neglected this very cardinal aspect of our economy? This cardinal driver of our economy. We've neglected it. Alright, so in my understanding, the reason why this has happened this way, or the reason why we seem to be suffering in this manner, is because Zambia is using a system of leadership called democracy. And this system of leadership only gives the head of state 5 years of being in office. And to me, this 5 years is too short a period of time for them to start or to embark on such long-term projects. Because you would agree with me that to set up a power generation facility, it is not something that would be done in maybe 1 or 2 years. For example, we can look at what happened to the period of time that the Kafiwe Lower Gorge hydropower station took for it to start producing electricity. The project, the construction of the facility started in the year 2015. It was during the time of the PF. And when did it get fully operationalized so that it could produce electricity? It was only in 2023, during the time of the UPND. So you can see, because it is able to cross from one regime to another, it becomes an attractive endeavor for politicians to undertake. Because the one who did the groundbreaking ceremony to start the construction, he or she is not going to be the one who is going to commission the generation of electricity or to see that particular facility generate electricity. So you see, it doesn't make them feel motivated to undertake such a project, because obviously you understand that what politicians want is to start a project, then they see its completion, they launch it, they cut the ribbon, and people clap. That is what every politician wants. So now, if they are going to start a project today, which is going to yield results after 10 years, for example, that project becomes unattractive for them. So that is the reason why today Zambia is not having these power generation facilities. Despite Zambia having all these water bodies that we have, especially in the northern part of Zambia, we have plenty of waterfalls there, we have plenty of rivers, plenty of lakes, which could be used to generate this, the much needed power. That means the northern part of Zambia was supposed to be catered for by power that is being generated from those places. But we are only depending on the Kariba hydropower station. That is the major source of power here in Zambia, the major source of electricity. Apart from hydropower stations, Zambia is also close to equator. That means we're exposed to the sun most of the time. And that means we have access to solar power. We can so easily put up solar power plants and be able to generate power from those plants. But why are we failing? The reason that I just gave. These projects, they want a lot of time for them to be constructed so that they start producing that electricity. And that becomes completely unattractive for a politician. We have heard a lot of, this could be another good example that I could cite. We have heard a lot of brilliant ideas. For example, I've seen a video where one UPND member was advising the PF in those days when they were still in opposition, when UPND was in opposition, that they could dig a canal to connect these two rivers to boost up water levels in the Zambezi River, so that we could have stable power generation from Kariba hydropower station. But today they are in power, they fail to implement that. I know they know that is workable, it is doable. But why have they not done it? It's because they know that it is going to take them a lot of time. It is going to take a long period of time for it to be commissioned. And because of that, they are not the ones that are going to take credit for that project. That's why I'm proposing that we have to switch to a system that will work for us. And this system is Ubuntu model of governance. In Ubuntu model of governance, I'm promising that we have to declare Zambia or make Zambia a kingdom. Remember that a king or a monarch is not limited to a 5-year or 10-year tenure of office. As a result, they are able to commission a project or to start the building or setting up of a project such as a power generation project until it is able to produce electricity. Because what they would like to see is a nation or a kingdom that is self-sufficient when it comes to power generation. And I think that resonates with what the current president used to say when he was in opposition, that UAE, United Arab Emirates, does not experience rains, or the rainfall there is not similar to what we have today. What we have in Zambia. And yet there they have power 24/7. Now, what system of leadership is there in Dubai? You will see that it is similar. Of course, it may not be exactly the same to the one that I'm proposing here, but it is similar to the one that I'm talking about. Dubai is a kingdom. So, as long as we think that democracy, this current implementation of democracy is going to deliver the results that we want. Remember, it is 60 years now. We'll be clocking 60 years. And democracy in itself has been the system of leadership in Zambia for at least 30 years. If we take away the years for Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. So in 30 years, still we haven't figured out how to properly implement democracy. Why are we struggling up to now? That tells you that we are repeating the same wrong experiment, hoping to get some better results at some point, which I think is not feasible, it's not attainable. I hear that there is a project of importing power from Tanzania. But to me, that can only be a short-term solution. Why do I say so? Tanzania today is having surplus power because they had over normal rainfall. They had more rains than what they normally get. As a result, their rivers and their water reserves were properly filled up. As a result, they are having a lot of power. But what happens if they also experience the drought that we experienced here the past season? Surely they will not have enough power for their own domestic use and for export to Zambia. So let us reason like adults. And I can tell you that the only way we can reason and behave like adults is by implementing a system that is giving us results, that is attending to our needs. Imagine if you work in a barber shop. Imagine if you are operating a printing shop. I know there are plenty of my brothers and sisters that are in these businesses. How are they getting over? How are they managing to earn their living, or just to earn some income for their living with this load shedding? And we want this to be the trend even in the future. Okay, which other president or aspiring presidential candidate do we hear to be having a solution to this problem? Me, I'm seeing none, apart from myself. I think I'm the only one who is having a unique idea, an idea that can work and benefit us. And moreover, I say in this project, in the Light of Zambia project, that once one model of governance is deployed in Zambia, then we are going to nationalize all natural resources. You can imagine, we have all the gold, we have all the emeralds, we have all the cobalt, nickel, copper, and many other stones or minerals. That translates into money. That means we have a lot of wealth. We are well endowed by the Almighty. But why is it that we are not utilizing that to benefit us, to benefit ourselves? Others, multinational companies, are the ones that are benefiting from our natural resources. Because if only we were the ones that were operating those mines, putting up of such projects like simple power generation facilities could be a very simple thing, and in a very short period of time, it could be achieved. But like I'm saying, no one of my colleagues, those that are vying for that position, none of them is talking about nationalizing natural resources. And that tells you that there is no one who is planning to pull us out of these hardships that we find ourselves in. So, brothers and sisters, support me as I'm running as President of the Republic of Zambia until we deploy Ubuntu model of governance as a system of governance in Zambia, where chiefs, traditional leaders are going to retain, have power of controlling economics, politics, and social affairs of the people. Your right to vote, your right to cast a vote will not be taken away from you, because every person here in Zambia belongs to a chiefdom, and every piece of land is going to be declared traditional land or customary land. That means you are going to belong to a chiefdom, and in every chiefdom we are going to be having the office of the Prime Minister, and that Prime Minister will be voted into office by we the people of that chiefdom. So democracy is being relegated from the top national level to the chiefdom level, to elect the Prime Minister to the chief, who is going to be the one now running the affairs of the chief in the chiefdom. And there now what we are implementing is what is called direct democracy, because now these people are now close to the ones that are funding the projects and implementing projects in their chiefdom. So for example, if you want to put up a school in a certain place, people of that area will simply go and take that proposal to the Prime Minister, of course through the minister to the Prime Minister. They will take, for those of you who would like to get more details about this, there is a video right on this channel which is explaining how this is going to be working. So people will take their proposal to the minister so that this project could be considered for funding. A school could be built. So Ubuntu model of governance is the best system of governance that resonates very well with us as Bantu people. Remember that this democracy, and in its current implementation, it isn't ours. And that's why we always fight. That is why we are always divided. It is always this party hates that party, that one hates that one, this one is fighting with that one. That's the way it operates all the time. But like I said, I think we are adults now. Zambia is clocking 60 years of being independent as a nation. If it was a human being, a person who was born in 1964, in October they would be 60 years old. And that is not a young person, he's an adult. And an elder for that matter. So if we are elders now, if Zambia is an elderly state now, let us behave like an elderly person or an elderly state. Let us prove and show our wisdom to the world that truly we are now wise, and we've tasted this and that and they've failed. Now the way to go is this one. The way to go is by implementing Ubuntu model of governance. This load shedding thing, this issue to do with electricity, is a thing that can so easily be sorted out if only we worked together and introduced a system that works well for us. So brothers and sisters, until we meet in the next video, I'm saying let there be light.